Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not currently a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. We just had two resubs here. We'll got another sound will pop up in a second. So I'm going to hit applause right now. And then we'll do another applause. Oh, we got Ghost Valve as well. And one more applause because of Ghost Valve. So thank you to the Arctic Sloth for subscribing at Tier 1 for 4 months. That's fantastic. Thank you to Aristofan for resubbing for 44 months at Tier 2. That's crazy. 44 months, that's so many months. Thank you, Aristofan. And thank you to Ghost Valve for Prime for subscribing for 12 months, saying almost a year. You went we go. Wait, did I say that wrong? You almost got me there. Yeah, well, these take a second to ping. So thank you so much. I'm also expecting the subscriber number to adjust possibly, especially because of the Ghost Valve being a Prime user. It may adjust. Right now we're at 38 out of 40, but I'll let you know if that changes. Also, Aristofan just gifted 2 subs. Okay, great. So we know we're going to get to 40. Thank you, and welcome Brozard and, of course, Bald Ridge. Welcome to both of you. So thank you. Thank you, Aristofan, for those 2 get the subs. We are now on a hype train. In the next 3 minutes, if anybody wants to donate some bits or gift some other subs, yeah, Brozard's here. Welcome. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. Right now, it says that I'm at 39 subscribers, and again, that could change. I don't know. Brozard, thank you so much, Brozard. I'm going to hit the cha-ching here. Cha-ching, thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate it. The bits. Okay, yeah. So right now we're at very least we're at 40 out of 45. So we're gonna update that. I'm gonna update that here. So let's change that. Now our next goal is 45 because right now it says we're 40 out of 45, which is great. So thank you very much, Aristofan, for those gifted subs. Thank you. Happy Thursday to everybody. Welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. If this is your first stream, it usually we don't get a hype train generally around here. We have some consistent, fantastic support from this community, which rules. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. If you're watching this later on the VOD or my YouTube archive, or if you're watching live now, hi, I'm Pat Baer. I got a bunch of new followers this week on both Twitter and Twitch. And then somebody on the old Nextlander Discord, a couple of people said really nice things. And then somebody tweeted me a very nice thing as well. And that just was awesome. That was yesterday. And I was just like, oh. Nextlander, the fine gentleman formerly of Giant Bomb, Vinny and Alex and Brad, they have their main podcast, right? They got their main podcast. They have other podcasts that come out, and one of them is called the Ramblecast. And that is if you are at the $10 or higher tier, one of the higher tiers of their Patreon, you get this explicitly not about games podcast. They had me on this week. I was able to promote the Plastic Model Weekender, which I'll talk more about in a second. But they also, it was just hanging out with my friends, and I love that because Alex lives in Queens. I lived in Brooklyn, but I still saw Alex fairly often. I would see him at things. We had intersecting interests. Whatever that documentary was that was about Indie Game the movie or whatever that was, we were both at the New York premiere for that movie randomly. But our paths just always intersected. And Vinny, I would see a lot. Brad, I see at conventions, or I saw at conventions, because honestly, he didn't go to a lot of them even right before the lockdown. But I've known those gentlemen for quite some time. It was very fun to shoot the shit with them, to answer Gundam questions, as Alex is dipping his toes into watching Gundam. He's not at the point of of working on model kits yet, but I was able to talk to his audience about that. I was able to explain what Gunpla means, the portmanteau for Gundam plastic model kit. And Brad had not known what that meant, and so I was very happy to share that. And it was just like a nice time with friends that I like. And hopefully, I mean, the goal was to promote Plastic Model Weekender this weekend, but if it also meant that some people might come and see my shenanigans here, then that's great. And I would love that if people would also want to check out what I do here. It seems like we got a few followers. Hype Train has completed. Thank you very much for all of that. Got myself a Hype Train emote there. That's fun. Choo Choo. We got a Choo Choo Charmander. No, what am I saying? That's not a Charmander. What am I even saying? That's the Hype Lull. It's a little Bulbasaur. That's fun. But yeah, people got some emotes. So enjoy those emotes. And thank you for the Hype Train. It's nice. I do want to say, before we get into the building, which we're working on the AUG. We're going to finish up the AUG. I gotta promote, if I may, I will promote it more than once in the stream, because the next time you see me, I won't be on this Twitch channel. I will be on the Plamo Weekender channel for the Plamo Weekender. And I'm going to promote that right here. Plastic Model Weekender is back. It is the second annual Plastic Model Weekender. It starts tomorrow, Friday, and runs through May 1st. It runs from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. My shift is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., I should say. It's a marathon, so it starts on Friday, ends on Sunday. There are prizes. Go to Plemo Weekender's Twitter account, see a lot of that. People have donated stuff. There's gift cards to USA Gundam Store. Gundam Planet's put up some ridiculous things. There are a couple people have donated their time. They will do some kit bashes or some paints, like specialty paints for you if you win. Lots of cool giveaways. We're raising money for the I talked too fast, too passionately. The Cure Alzheimer's Fund. And I will be there. I will be hosting on this channel, so don't worry about it. If you forget, but then also you might see the notification that I'm hosting, but it'll be 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. I will not be streaming here at 9 p.m. on Saturday, which is my normal stream time, because I'm not going to do a 2-hour charity stream and then immediately do a 2-hour model kit building stream, because I don't have that in me. And I will be working on this model kit, the Donazine, right over here, and we'll look at the overhead there. It's a dragon. I'm gonna be building a dragon kit. This kit requires very little stickers, and I won't be doing any panel lining during the stream. So normally I would say in 2 hours I could assemble this kit, because it's not that big of a kit. It's a grunt. It's a dragon-looking grunt kit. I could do it in 2 hours, but you can get me to stop, because every $50 that is raised during my stream, cumulatively, you don't have to donate $50, but every time $50 more have been raised during my shift of it, I will stop what I'm doing and open a pack of sports cards, trading card game cards. I'll say it now. I have a pack of cards that is from Magic the Gathering, and they are not in the English language. And I don't know enough about Magic the Gathering these days to tell you what those cards are on site. It's a recent pack. A friend of mine gave it to me. He paid $20-something for it, and donated it because he thought it would be fun for me to open it, because he has access to Magic cards, which is very fun. He was like, I'm going to donate during the thing, but like, I can get this thing in mail. I can like put this through if you want. And I was like, yes, please. Which is just fantastic. What do we got here? Oh, we got a new follower. Welcome there, Bear Cubby. Welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. We're going to get started here with the actual building. I'm going to reply to my own tweet out there, see if we can get a few more friends to join us. And yeah, we're finishing up the AUG today. That's the plan. I would like to finish this kit before my charity stream on Saturday. So that is the goal tonight, is to finish this up, which I believe we'll be able to do, because we have the legs, we have the, I thought oof, that's a lot. But then I thought, well, just sell packs that are like $20 a retail. Yes. So, Lashbrook, the fact that is $20 is mostly because it is, as far as I know, not most times, if you wanted cards in a language that is different from the perceived target language in your area, you have to import it from a region because cards are often region based, not language based. So even like a country that has like a large population that speaks Spanish, it's not easy to find Spanish language Magic cards or Spanish language Pokemon cards in like America because the perceived audience for that is English speaking. So even in a city that has like a huge Latinx population, they're still importing cards. They're not buying U.S. or North American cards in Spanish. They're buying cards from Mexico or Europe that happen to be in Spanish. The Bearcat says, "Hi there, new friends. Just got home from shopping, bought a new product just came out." Okay, well, I hope you're enjoying it. That's fun. We're working on it. This model kit is from the year 2021, but it really is from the year 2002. It just has some new molding. It's a very old kit that they added some new parts to, like these parts here, and re-released it in the year 2021 because the AUG is from L Gaim, which is from the 80s. It's a very old show. And we are going to work on the waist here. We have the waist, and we have the weapon, and we have the shoulders. I guess there are two weapons here. This thing has a scythe, and we're gonna put the scythe on there. We have the hand for the scythe right here. I only know L Gaim through Super Robot Wars franchise. Yes, I mean honestly, that's where that I would say you probably would only know that from that. Like, I don't know why you would know it because you're like, well, I watch lots of 80s super robots and such. We love a scythe. I mean, we do. I mean, I do. There are only so many mobile suits. I love a mobile suit with a melee weapon. You know, it's like the Barbatos has so many cool melee weapons. I mean, there's a lot of melee weapons in that particular series, Iron Blood and Orphans. So there's a lot of cool melee weapons, but I enjoy that, you know, like Red Frame, Astray, Red Frame has, you know, like so many cool swords. And there's that one version that like it has weird shoulders that are also arms, so you can add other swords to it, and it can hold 4 swords, like 4 like katanas. And that's fun. That's just fun. Yeah, I am sucker for a cool weapon like that. And then like the Love Phantom, which is kind of a death scythe, has like spider legs that also can be weapons, and that's just fun. That's fun too. Anyway, I'm excited for Saturday for the Plastic Model Weekender. I'm hoping that it is going to be a good time. I hope you, if you are available to come and watch, please do. If you can also check in to Plamo Weekender outside of when I stream, if you want to check it out tomorrow or Sunday, I will be in chat sometimes. I'm not going to say I'm going to be there all the time, but I will be around because I want to support other people, and also like if I keep an eye on it and like, oh, there's not a lot of people watching right now, I'll at least come in. I can't donate, but I can come in and like chat a little bit because like I can chat. I got good I got good typing discipline. I can come in and goof a little bit and maybe add some conversation. There were a lot more VTubers than I remember from last time. Yes, Lashbrook. I think there are more VTubers doing Gunpla this in general, and 2, Char and a couple other prominent VTuber people kind of reached out to some friends to say like, hey, I know you also do that. I don't want to say that every VTuber who does model kits knows every other VTuber who does model kits. It's not that small a world, but it is like a unique subset that they, like if you were a fan of one of them, you would mention, hey, did you know that there's like, I watch this other person, they do it too. So like there is a little, communication between those fine folks. So we do have a few more this year than previous years, which again I think is cool. I'm psyched to have more folks in there. We will have an ASL interpreter for one stream. I cannot remember which one. I apologize that I cannot remember which one, but they will have someone doing ASL during the stream, which is cool. I will probably make some appearances as a guest for some things. I don't know how many streams I will pop in as an audio guest. I will make myself available probably for a few things and say like, hey, if people need a guest, I'm available. I did not book guests. I was tempted. I did have a maybe from a friend that they might be available to come in, but that unfortunately our timing did not work out. Oops, there is undergating on this. Gotta clip this, but it'll be a good time. Also, maybe you didn't realize this because I might be the only model kit builder that you watch on stream. Because you know me from Giant Bomb stuff or comedy stuff or pack stuff in general or whatever. So I am in the minority in that I don't have music playing while I build in the background because I don't want to hear music while I'm building in my ears. I want to hear VTubers are always graduating and reappearing. Yeah, it's a whole thing. They just want to be different versions of themselves. They get tired, they get bogged down, or they are parts of agencies and change agencies, or they go solo, or they join an agency. Yeah, there's a lot of graduating and then debuting. And I don't know how anyone finds out about the debuts. But anyway, I don't have music playing, but there will be a bed of music underneath the entire weekend because I am, as I said, kind of the odd person out in that I don't have music playing while I build. To me, music plays when you don't talk, right? Like if I was just doing not an ASMR, but just like a vibe stream where I just built, like there are artists who do Twitch streams where they don't have mics on. They are a no mic, no camera. I am doing digital art. You get to see me do digital art. I might jump into chat and type. Like there are folks that do that. That is their deal. But to me, I don't know. I think it's because I come from a live theater background that music is the idea of having like tunes is a strange thing. I also know for myself that I would get distracted if I had music playing. Because I would want to DJ. I would just want to like work on my playlist, not just have like a playlist built. I would want to like talk about the music because I do like doing like programming music and playlists. But I just think it's weird. I don't know. Lo-fi, chill hip hop beats to build to. Yeah, Arctic Sloth. I mean, I don't know. There are plenty of folks that is their thing. I didn't want to request no music because that requires people to do something. If the music like fucked up and couldn't be played, if there was like a technical hurdle they were running into, then I wouldn't be like, oh no, music. We don't have any music. It's not worth it for me to be like, hey, don't have music playing, because they already have to do that for at least one streamer. So, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. It'll be a good time. I'm excited about it. I bought more. So I bought as many card packs as I ended up opening last year because you might remember I raised too much, quote unquote. I raised more money than I had packs of cards to open during my shift. So I requested that I just shot a video. I bought more packs and then shot a video opening the rest of those packs. So I bought as many packs as that plus more. I would again like to run out of packs that I can open, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Arctic Sloth, I don't believe I can make requests. That would be kind of fun to have like background ska playing. They have a big long playlist of music that won't trip any DMCA, both for archival purposes and for live stream purposes, which is great. Also, I will be archiving my stream myself. So my archive won't have the fun overlay that they'll have, because I'm just streaming into a service. Speaking of which, let's play some ska. And then also Lacrassin wants me to do that, so hold on a second, and then... And also, this is the last time, tonight will be the last time you will hear this, because you won't be able to redeem channel points on Saturday, which is the last stream of the month. You won't be able to. I mean, I guess you could ask me to press the ska button, and I would. I guess you could do that, but I will be on that stream anyway. Yeah. So my archive won't have music, like random music playing in the background, but it also won't have like their cool overlay, which is fine. I think that's fine. All right, and. Hey, this is almost build complete. We got to do the shoulders here, but we do have most of the kit completed and the weapon. Maybe play some ska when you open a pack of cards. Maybe, I don't know. It could be a bed music. That could be a bed music every time I open packs. Yeah, that might work. I will have to have a new song for Monday, which will be the first stream of May. It's going to be May. So, for May 1st, May 2nd is that Monday stream. For May 2nd, I should also have some cool, a new ska song. I'll have to do that. But I can't do that Saturday because I don't want to debut a new song on there. So I'll do that for Monday. Wouldn't be fair. Anyway, let's build the shoulders and then we'll build the weapons with some of our new parts here. Our new parts here, which is really nice to have, because we don't have, these aren't stickers. They're going to just be plastic to go on here, but these are new. These are new parts. Kind of changing it up a little bit, which is great. Instead of these parts here, you can see these were not color accurate. You had to put a sticker on them, and they were just wrong. So we won't have that. Instead, we'll have new parts that are actually color accurate, which is great. I believe it was one sticker that was like white and red. You just pulled it all over, but we don't have to worry about that shit now. All right, let's move on to this, and then let's move on to talking about, real brief, I'll just say, I finally had some noodles, some Japanese noodles. I had yaki udon. I had udon noodles. It's very similar to yakisoba, but it's with the udon noodles instead of the soba noodles. Went out with my dad and one of his friends here. We were kind of figuring out where we wanted to go eat, and eventually we eventually decided we were going to go to, sorry, I got to look up. A20 is what I need here. A20 is this one. Eventually we decided that we were going to go to a Japanese place. And look, I could have gotten something like stir-fried or whatever. I could have gotten the hibachi stuff, But I haven't had udon noodles since I moved here in 2020, and before that, it had been a little while. So at the very least, it has been a couple of years, if not more, since I last had udon. So I had the with chicken, which was good. They didn't have pork, which I normally have with udon. I normally have pork, but they didn't have that. They had chicken, shrimp, and steak, and I went with chicken. So I had chicken yaki udon, and it was fucking good. Those noodles were great. It came with snow peas and onions, and those were fantastic. I haven't had snow peas in a while either. It was just like fucking tasty, and I was happy. that I was able to consume that. It was a good conversation, good meal, just like excellent night. We're having tacos tomorrow. Very happy about that. Not going to be my soft shell tacos. They will be hard shell corn instead of soft shell flour, which is my preferred taco because I like a good soft shell taco. That is what I prefer. That is what I'm after generally. These are the outside pieces. Just doing this now. But it'll still be okay. I'm still gonna have some really good tacos tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been out to eat in a long time. It was nice to go out and have some food that was very tasty with good company. You know, happy about that. Anything else? I'm just doing some quick hits right now. We're hitting the quick hits. Just like this is not a full segment. I have a couple things that like I think I could talk about for a while, but we'll just start with that. Let's see. Power Wash Simulator. The update, the next update, the second to last before the last one before it goes completely released in gold, is coming out on the 19th of May, which is a Thursday, I believe. Double check that. Yeah, it's a Thursday. So the 25th of May is when I will be probably playing that. We'll play that update the following Wednesday. I wish it was coming out on the 18th of May so that I could just play it that day, but, it isn't. So that's when that update's coming out, so I will check that out, which will be fun. Dorfroom Antique. You've seen me play it on stream, most likely. Reasonably to assume that you have seen me play Dorfroom Antique on stream. That game is officially out right now. It is out. There are new modes. I'm going to be playing that next Wednesday. I have not checked out the new modes. I will check out the new modes, but I haven't yet. But they've put out like a quick play. They've put out like a quick play is like you only get so many tiles and you just build until you're done. And then there's another custom one where you can like really adjust things. And I am looking for, which is not sandbox, I guess, but I'm looking forward to figuring out all of that because I do very much enjoy that game. I don't know why it popped in my head. This is from last week, but I've been on a low-key quest to find some, finally try some Loco Moco. Been pretty successful so far, as most Hawaiian places near me solely focus on poke. I'm sorry, Lashbrook. Good luck to you on your quest. I'm sorry that you have been unable to find what you're looking for there. Goddamn undergating. Yeah. Goddamn undergating. Also, this piece here, we have to bend it as we have to attach parts while bending them. This feels bad. Like it does feel like it should bend, but it doesn't. You shouldn't bend things. Yes, Power Wash Devs announced when 9.90 was May 19th. Yes, Lord Crashing it. I was legitimately those are words that I said out loud here on this stream. The next update comes out on the 19th, which is unfortunately a Thursday, so it won't be until the following Wednesday that we check it out on stream. But yes, I did see that update and mentioned it on stream, which is fine. It's fine. You didn't see me say that or hear me say that. But yeah, so Dorfer Antique is out officially, so you can go play that. We will be playing that next Wednesday. Excited about that. Do I want to talk about Tudum? So this is where I'm watching the dumb dinosaur trailer for a bit. I understand. I gotcha. So I guess I should mention this thing. In December, Netflix put out a fan site. Like a website, like a page on there you go to and see like interviews and behind the scenes video stuff and essays about things. And kind of like, just like a blog, but solely for Netflix shit, which is like not a bad idea. And it came out in December, and now all the writers for Tudum have been laid off as of today. It's like a companion site. It's supposed to be like finding your fandom for shows in whatever, and like exclusives and behind the scenes stuff and bonus. It's where they can put like bonus video stuff that was shot that like eventually will end up like on a DVD if DVDs are still coming out, or Blu-rays or whatever. Like, it would have some bonus stuff. That's kind of the idea. And it's like a fine enough idea. It's just it didn't take the world by storm, because I mentioned this to a friend of mine who was like, they hired all these people and then what? And they have this like marketing machine. This is part of the marketing machine, but like, did anyone know about it? And I was like, I heard about Tudum twice. Once when they announced it, and then today when it was like canned. Because they hired a lot. They hired a lot of people. They laid off 10 people who were just writing for the site. And they're like, oh, it's not going anywhere. We're committed to it. Which is not the same as like, so you're just not going to write articles anymore, or you're going to hire new people. And it's just weird. It's just a weird thing. Tudum is a weird thing that exists. And I don't know who, like, I'm still not quite sure who it's for, which is fine. But it certainly isn't doing gangbusters because it's gone. It's gone now. I mean, the writing at least is gone now. And it's just weird. I mean, a website having their own writers like that always feels strange. It always feels like, who is this for? But it certainly felt strange. Like, it feels weird that Netflix announced they had like lost a bunch of revenue and a bunch of users, and their like first response to that is one of their responses to that is to cancel animated projects. Like, dozens of animated projects got the axe, and the second thing that happened is that 10 people got laid off. And it's just like, okay, what are you trying to do here? Who are we helping here? Who are we harming here? What's the end goal of all of this? It just feels very strange. All of it feels very strange. Building this section feels strange too. The shoulder feels weird, but whatever. That's beside the point. All of it feels weird, and I do feel bad for people that have lost their jobs, especially those people that left their jobs to join in December. They had only been there since December, barely any time at all, and I feel bad for them too. For that, like people that upended their lives to work on this thing for a couple months, that were wooed away with the like, oh well, you could work there, or you could work for us. It's like, nope. Now you don't work here. Very bizarre. All right, we need A17. Is that the one I already pulled out? Is the other one? Where is A17 on here? 15. I don't know. Like I said, just weird. It's like all of those big companies aren't really invested in these new initiatives. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I understand. Last in, first out. I do get that. I do understand that. But also, you can't build a thing unless you give it time to grow. And if you're not giving it any time to grow, like, what are we doing here? Because that's what it feels. It feels like just like, well, like, they invested a bunch of money in podcasts. Is that going to be a thing? How long is that going to be a thing for? Or are they just going to immediately be like, oh well, why did we even bother doing it? Like, no, actually, who cares? I always talk about how a friend of mine moved from Connecticut to San Francisco to work at a particular website in the world of video games. This is many, many years ago. And then, so he found a room in an apartment, moved across country. Now he's like, okay, I've got this job, and it's not paying exactly what I would like, but I'll do okay here, and I'll figure some stuff out. And then he got laid off almost immediately. He was there very little, and he was like, well, I rented an apartment, or he's like sublet an apartment, and I moved my whole life. I guess I got to find a job here in San Francisco, and luckily he did. But it was just like oh fuck, oh no. It was real rude. It was a real rude time. But that's what happens, right? And that's why, like, you can't, like, it is rough to, like, pick up your life and move for an opportunity, especially if there is no guarantee of how long that'll last. All right. Sucks the most for those that have to move and make big changes over those that already live there nearby. Yeah, totally. Totally, Lord Crashnet. Like people that, move to other countries for work and then their thing just goes and they, like when WWE releases wrestlers, I always feel for the folks that are international that left everything they know to come and work in America, and then they are like, people are like, oh well, they just do the indie scene. It's like, no, they might, like, they're not probably not citizens, like they're probably on work visas, and then they have to like figure that out. It's a rough thing. It's scary too. It can be really scary to suddenly have that just be like, oh no, all right, well, I don't work here. I don't know where I work. Probably should have put this on first, but whatever. We'll put this on here. I believe this part is part of the site that we will be building, so just put that on there. And then this is one shoulder that's done. Which shoulder is going? Okay, so this goes on here, but we should panel line it first, and then we'll do the other one, which is using just black marker. This all screams to me as being reactionary to their stock price plummeting. Also, not the thing that would actively correct that, but it's something easy to do, as cruel as that sounds. Yeah, no, I would agree with the Arctic Sloth. Like, Netflix, these 10 people, that's not going to change, like, them, not being paid isn't going to directly affect anything that happens, right? Like, the animation could save them money, like dropping a lot of the animation projects, like they won't recoup their investments they had there, but like, it may in the long run help them out. You could make a case for that. But this, these 10 writers, like, there's no way that changes anything about them losing revenue. And in fact, like, if you take their long view of it, like, they should be investing in ways to get people excited about Netflix shows. And this is an avenue to get people excited because it attempts to bring the fandom that you would find on Reddit or private Discords or Twitter to the actual Netflix website. So you would think that would be like, I mean, that's probably what the people pitched it to, right? And also I'm sure people pitched if we have people we know writing things here instead of at Vulture or Decider, then we kind of control more of how the information goes, and it's just a part of our marketing budget. It makes a lot of sense. It makes way more sense than like, oh wow, our stock plummeted, and like people aren't into Netflix at the moment, so we gotta fire 10 people that don't do anything that had nothing to do with that and don't work at any of those departments. Our marketing side. So we'll just get rid of them. It's just like, okay. I mean, it's like you can, but I don't quite know why you would. You do you. Okay. I'm gonna change topics. So there was a tweet. It was a good. Hey, folks, I don't know if you heard this, but sometimes people tweet good things. It's rare. It's very rare. But sometimes people do tweet things that I would say are good. And I'm going to look for that now. I got to find it. Okay, so let's see. Who wrote this? The Moon's Wife, who I do not know, is the name for Bookish Sea Witch. Bookish Sea Witch wrote, "Good morning to every English teacher who woke up this morning like, today's the day I assign a short story that will haunt them till the day they die." And that hasn't happened directly to me. I don't think I ever read something in that an English teacher assigned that like fucked my head up forever and stuck with me. But it did remind me of a thing that I had forgotten about for many years. I definitely don't think I told this. I've been doing this for 4 years now. There exists the possibility that I did tell this story before on stream because there are only so many stories in my head. But as far as I know, I have not told the following story. to you, and I am excited to share that with you now. So I'm going to do that now. Here is this tale. In 7th grade, I was in English class. It was the start of a new semester, and so we were going to start a new book. We didn't know what we were going to be reading, or short story or something. There was a new thing happening, right? And it was a few weeks into the year, but not that far in. So it wasn't semester. It was just whatever. It's 7th grade, right? Teacher comes in and is again, 7th grade English, and is like, okay, so before we get started, folks, we need to come to an agreement here. We are going to be moving one of you from this class to another English class that happens at the same time. And we've decided that you're going to make the decision of who moves. So, talk amongst yourselves and decide who's going to volunteer. Someone has to. So someone's got to volunteer, and that person is going to leave the class. And then the teacher walked to their desk and sat down. And there was some murmuring and then active conversation. And people were like, well, I don't know, what? And mostly it was confusion. And then a few people were like, I don't want to go to another class. It's like, oh, well, I have all my classes with so-and-so or whatever. And nobody's like, yeah, no one's like, I definitely want to go. But there are a few people in class that aren't saying anything. And I am one of those people that is not saying anything. I will later find out that there are 3 people that aren't saying anything. I will later find out that one person isn't saying anything because she is convinced that they will ask her to do it. And she doesn't want to because she has one friend in this class and she doesn't know anyone in this other class. She doesn't think she knows anyone, and she is terrified of this. And then another person and myself are not saying anything because we know that this is a thought exercise and we are about to learn something before we read a book, or a short story, I should say, before we read a short story. We realize, he and I, that this shit is a thought experiment. Because each of us has a mother who in that school district taught English. And over the summer, both of us read The Lottery. And this is this teacher's way of introducing the themes of the lottery to us, which is weird. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, this is them being oh, well, what did we learn from this? And they're waiting for somebody to forcibly pick another person. They're waiting for a group to peer pressure someone else into volunteering, right? Well, that doesn't happen. Somebody just eventually is just I'll do it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I'll just do it. Someone volunteered and nobody disagreed. So it kind of worked because someone sacrificed themselves for the greater good or whatever, but it didn't really work. If you're unfamiliar, The Lottery is a short story. Spoiler alert, it's someone being picked to be murdered, most likely in tribute for the gods or the harvest or whatever, but it is a lottery. You do not want to win the lottery in this particular instance. And so this was this teacher's attempt to, I guess, I don't kind of set up the themes of betrayal and who's happy that someone's leaving, and oh, well, you don't have, I have more reason to be here than you do, and all this other stuff. I had already read The Lottery. I was aware of The Lottery because I had read it in the summer, and the other student who didn't say anything in there also did that. I will say there was a part of me at the point that was maybe this isn't a some sort of lesson. Just pick the teacher. Yes. That is, yeah. You just be oh, you should go. Let's trade teachers. That's funny. I appreciate it. I like that. Also, for blog, Well, 21, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the old Build With Baer Workshop. Build With Baer Workshop. I'm getting a little tongue-tied tonight. I don't know why. Let's clean up these little parts here, and we'll get ready to put this all together. So anyway, nobody moved class. It was all about the lottery, and it was just a setup. And that's it. That is the story. Unfortunately, there's no like cool thing. Oh, is there a pseudo raid here? I don't know. I don't know. Sounds like Build With Baer Worship. Oh no, Risvan, I am not a preacher. This is not church. Is there a planned raid here? What's going on? I don't know. Hi everybody. I don't know if some people said to come over here and there wasn't like an official raid that came here. And people were just like hanging out. But welcome to the old Build With Baer. This is not a gun cult. Yes, no, this is not a cult. I would be a bad cult leader because I would be rolling my eyes. I'm a good enough actor to pull off some shenanigans, but I don't have the heart to do it. So you'd see through I would just be like, yeah, this is for enlightenment or whatever. You would eventually be able to see right through me. No, it's not. This is not a cult. It's not going to be a cult. I feel like this shouldn't bend the way this thing wants me to bend it, but it does. I will say, I don't appreciate what's going on here. No Jared Leto shit. No. Here's the thing. I was already in a pyramid scheme that some people wanted to be a cult for many years. And it did pay my bills, so I'm not complaining about it. But I did improv for many, many years and was in an improv community at a theater that was basically a pyramid scheme, but I was an employee there, so I was part of the pyramid scheme, which sucks, but whatever. So for me, like being an Upright Citizens Brigade employee for many years, many years, is basically I was in a pyramid scheme that some people did think was cultish, and there is some cultishness about improv, the long form improv community. There certainly is some cultish tendencies there, but it's not really a cult. How do I bend this other one? And then also, how do I keep this thing from not falling? This is weird. All right, we'll figure this out. No free Nikes, unfortunately. I apologize. Not in the budget. Just model kits. I build model kits. That's all it is. I definitely had a few improv acquaintances and improv friends who were definitely trying to go for the guru thing. They were trying to like hit that sweet, like my name will spread enough that people will pay a ridiculous amount of money for me to like do improv workshops in their town. Like I had a few friends that were running that angle. They were going for guru status, which again is a hard racket. That's a tough part of the racket. All right, I think I go like this, and then I have to get this piece in here before I snap it all together. I'm going to say right now, folks, this section feels bad. This feels bad. Anyway, new people, I don't know, I got scared about raids, because here's the thing. There are two kinds of raids, right? There is, we're going to go to check out this channel raid. And then there's hate raids. And my assumption is that you folks weren't here early for the hate raid, because that would be weird if you're like, oh, did we miss the raid? Or whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and assume you're good people. And if you're not, okay, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that I've only had like a couple instances of the like the bots, the like massive bot show up. I've only had that a couple times. I've been lucky. All right, so yeah, this feels fucking terrible to do, to put this together, to bend this. That's a lie. I'm a cold-blooded killer. I use dry transfers with no tapes, says Squiggle Mouse. Oh no, Squiggle Mouse, no. 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 I mean, I am blessed by this community being just kind, generous folks. We occasionally, like I always say this, the things we deal with here, the Build With Baer Workshop, that are like, oh, at the worst, it's just like occasionally someone comes in and becomes the main character of chat, where because I read chat and keep up with chat and engage with you, and in fact, fucking love that people come in to like hang out and talk, and I need that to keep going because I'm just building a model kit, and so I like that. That there's sometimes people come in and they become the main character of chat. They become like they're gonna be really asking a lot of questions and looking for a lot of feedback and have a lot of opinions that they really want to share and all that. And it's fine, except that eventually you're just like, oh, right, wow, what if you chilled out a little bit? And then occasionally I will just stop responding to everything that is being written by that person. But that's pretty damn rare that we run into that kind of issue. For the most part, it's just people come in and they're very cool and nice. And some people chat about things. And when I ask questions, they respond to them, which is very kind of you. And then sometimes people come in and they just watch, which is also great. But yeah, we get the folks that come in for whatever. I was actually talking about that, how I have like our friend Nathan Explosion enjoys anime streams, the anime discussion streams that I do. I only do like 4 or 5 of those a year. I do the seasonal ones, and then I do like doing like the anime awards, like watch along or whatever. So I only do that a couple times a year, but that's what Nathan is interested in more than anything else I do. You almost never want to be the main character on the internet. That's a very solid point, Artisloth. Yeah. But you know, there would be people that like, some people peace out after the first hour because the second hour is usually anime and or manga talk, and that's not something they're necessarily interested in. But then we've had a run where there have been people that I know only come in for the second hour because they don't have anyone to talk to about anime with, so they're hoping I'm also watching the things they're watching, and they are very excited about that. They don't really care about the rest of it, which I always found really fun. Shout out to Christian from Argentina. I believe Christian was from Argentina. My apologies if I got that wrong, but we had Christian who really wanted to talk anime and would just come into the second hour and would never come into the first hour, which I always found very fun. But yeah, I have no qualms with how anybody wants to enjoy. Folks that just watch, they're not here to be part of chat. They just have it on, on another monitor while they do other things, or they have it on a TV or whatever, or their phone while they're at work. All these things are valid and cool, and I appreciate you very much for spending any time with me. But yeah, watch the stream how you want to watch the stream. Oh, you're also from Argentina. Hell yeah. Well, welcome. I will say most of my audience here is from United States and or Canada, but we do have a few viewers that are international. We got our friend Buttercup, Girly Buttercup, comes in because they are in Scandinavia, and they often will come because of the time change when they can't fall asleep, and so they'll come and join us. That's usually, if you see Girly Buttercup, it's usually because that person is having issues falling asleep, which is fine. And I welcome their hangout. We saw them mostly, I think, when I was doing some afternoon streams, because it just worked out good timing for them. All right, we got to put these symbols on here. We are almost done with this kit. We are very close to finishing this kit. We just have to build a weapon. And then we will be all set with this. But yeah, people have different reasons why they want to hang out on stream. And all of those reasons, in my opinion, are valid. I appreciate people spending any time here. It rules. I'm happy to have people hang out for as little as much as they can or want to. Some people say like, "Oh, I have to leave early. Sorry," and it's like, "No problem. Thank you for being here." If you have to miss a stream, you miss a stream. Or like, I know that since Wednesday is variety night, I play a bunch of different kinds of things that I'm interested in. I understand that sometimes I'm playing things that folks aren't interested in watching. They don't have the interest in a certain game. Oh, right, this is from an anime. It has inexplicable Christian imagery. Yes, Arctic Sloth. There is some seemingly random Christian imagery in L Gaim. You're totally accurate on that. But yeah, no, some people can only be here for a little while, and some people can be here for the 2 hours, or yeah, like there's a Wednesday stream that it's something they're not interested in, so they don't come and hang out or whatever, or you know. They can only be here for an hour because it's past their bedtime. The shoulders of Christ. Yes. We're not going to do too much panel lighting on this, but I'll get a little bit of detailing on here. There'll be some parts that will look good, even if it's on the back. And then I guess we'll get started with the next kit once this is done. But we still have to do the scythe. There's a beam saber. I'll show you that once I put this on here. We'll get this. We'll get body complete on this kit here. We've got to do this. And then swing that down. Slick it over. Oops. These things do like to fall off, which is frustrating for me. Okay, there we go. Kit is complete. The hand here, we just put the beam right in the hand if we want to do that. You can just do that, or you can assemble a particular hand for it, but you can just do that if you want. But you can also build the thing that needs to go in there. All right, yeah, we got to put extender here on that. Oh yeah, there's the extender goes in there. Sorry, it doesn't do that. There's an extender that has to go on there, and then I can go in there. But we're going to build into this hand the blade. Pat, did you see the tweet with the cameo from the Halo announcer saying, "Ape stolen"? Yes, I did. Mr. Seitzer is out there with cameo and had him say, yes, in the Halo voice that you would imagine to hear in multiplayer, saying, "Ape stolen," which is very funny. Yes, Mr. Seitzer is fantastic. His daughter is also very nice, and she was one of my interns at one point. And I've told the story on stream before, but she very smartly one day was like, "Hey, you like video games, right?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." She goes, "My dad's the voice of Halo." And I was like, "The multiplayer voice?" And he's like, "Yeah, he says stuff like Killtacular." And I was like, "Yeah, I hear your dad very often. That's weird and cool." It's just a very strange thing. And I was like, "You were right to tell me this. I think that's awesome." And she was like, "Oh, great. I'm glad I know someone that is psyched about it." I was like, "I'm very psyched about that shit." We're just going to finish this kit off, and then we'll take a pause for the cause. But we might as well complete this while we have momentum. So we'll finish that up there. That's like, the Christian imagery. 78% of anime. Sorry, my brain was slow. It's just funny how often there's a bit of fascination, and it seems the way so many love Japanese culture. Yeah, so like, I've been talking about one of the Friday shows that I'm watching, which I'm going to look up the name. It's Executioners in the name, but what's the full name? The full name is The Executioner and Her Way of Life. The Executioner and Her Way of Life is the church is at the head of everything, and definitely like dealing with some stuff, but also like very clearly is fucked up. Like it's one of those things where I'm just like, yeah, this is fucked. These can't be good. There's got to be a twist here. The twist is coming. I don't know what the twist is yet, but it's coming. There's no way it's not coming, because it's got to. Just like, come on. So I'm just waiting for it to turn out that they are behind a lot of shady shit and evil and whatever. Because it's an anime, so like, what we gonna do? Especially in isekai. generally religion is real bad because why are you? Because the very concept of summoning someone against their will to be your champion is fucked up. And so often it is a church or a king doing that. And so you're just like, yeah, well, that's not good. That's not a good idea. You know, the ones that aren't rebirth versions. Anyway, this kit's fucking done. Dishes are done, man. We finished this model kit. These things like to fall off. And I would probably put some liquid cement on them if I was going to display this kit, but I don't plan on displaying this kit. But it does have a scythe and is fucking cool. So we'll get a photo of it. But yeah, there it goes. It doesn't slide in and out because it is 2 components, which is how they decided to solve that issue. They just did that. So let's get a photo of this here. It's time to take a photo. I'm going to take one photo down here. Just going to move it out of the way a little bit here. And then, yeah. And then I will take one photo with it standing up, because it should be able to stand up without a stand. Yeah. So I'll get a photo like that. Whoops. Taking a photo of myself. Don't want to do that. Okay. It's just me in front of a microphone. There we go. Here's a photo of me in front of a microphone. I'm just taking that photo there. You can see POV. I'm building you're a model kit that I'm building. I'll put that photo up tomorrow. Very silly. But this is the kit. That's the AUG from L Gaim. Pretty cool kit. We finished. Which I could put an adapter on and put it on a stand, but I'm not worried about it. It's one of those. Where is it? Where's the adapter? It's one of those, like, it doesn't have a peg, so it has this thing that rides on the back because it's a retrofit. So it has this piece here that will be a peg to put on a stand, and then you can just slide it underneath. Yeah, it's a pretty good kit. I don't like these parts that, like, I had to bend. Those are real weird. I did not enjoy that part of the shoulders. But overall, it's cool. It's a cool look to it. I do like this scythe quite a bit. I don't like the scythe requires one hand. I don't like that it's not like a full piece, that it's 2 components like this. I don't like that. But other than that, I enjoy the kit. All right, we're going to take this all out of here, and we'll get ready to work on another model kit. And over there. Deal with that later. Okay, so we got another kit to build, which we will be doing in a bit here. I'm going to, let's see. Sorry, got to figure out where my mouse went. My mouse disappeared. Where did my mouse go? There it is. We need this. The RX-78-2 Paralympic Games edition is the next kit we will be building. Because they didn't know how long it was going to take to finish the AUG, so it didn't even say that. So this is the next thing we're building. This is a 2015 kit that has, yes, or I believe this is the 2015 version with the Paralympic Games 2015 RX-78-2 edition. But it has a cool base here, and has some stickers, some unique stickers. They're going to go on the kit. And the color scheme is the Paralympic colors, which is just like a real cool looking, just like lovely colors for this. I like the stand. I like the stickers. Yeah, like the color scheme. There's a lot to like about this particular kit. And this will be the next thing that we are building here. And it does come with weapons. It's an RX-78-2 that comes with weapons that aren't just like the rifle. And that is nice to have now and again. That's good. We do like that over here. It doesn't have beams for the beam saber, I don't believe. Yeah, I don't think it has the beams, but it does have like the handles for it, so that's fine. we have plenty of beams. A 2015 kit for the 2020 Paralympic Games that didn't take place until 2021. Yes. So here's the deal with that is, this is a reissue, right? This is the kit for 2015. It's reissued in 2020. The games happened in 2021, whatever. But yeah, it celebrated the 2020 games. And there's also the Olympic colors as well, but this is the Paralympics. It is an official licensed product for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games emblem. I don't know. It just looked neat, and someone bought this off my wish list. I do not know who. They're anonymous. Some good color instruction here. Not too many stickers. Important stickers that are helpful. Camera eyes can be chosen 2, 3 to 50. Use the clear parts. Okay, yeah. So we start with the head on this one. This is weird because we do the chest and then the head. We don't start with the head. We do the chest first. Chest, head, arms, legs, or arms, feet, legs, waist. That is your. This kit is from the era where this is how we do it. Before we get into that, I have to talk to you. I got to read some ads, quote unquote ads. I'm just going to talk to you about a couple ways you can support the channel. I'll get through this really fast. I also won't be doing this on Saturday, obviously, because of the Plastic Model Weekender. That's the first thing I'll mention. Again, I got to find my mouse. Plastic Model Weekender is happening this coming weekend, Friday through Sunday. I will be on Saturday from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/PlayMoWeekender. But again, it's starting on Friday. It's running through Thursday or through Sunday. Words. Model kit building charity, good vibes indeed. So come check that out. It's going to be really fun. We're going to have a lot of cool people all weekend building. There's going to be an interview segment at one point. We've got a couple who are both VTubers, and they are going to be doing a speed build challenge. They're building the same kit and racing against one another. And also somehow figuring out how to have both of their VTuber rigs working on the same stream, which is rad. I'm excited for that. But there's a lot happening with that event, so please check that out. If you're currently a subscriber to the old Build With Baer, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. If you're new, this is the time where I'm going to promote some stuff that I do here, ways you can support the channel, because I don't have sponsors. I have you fine folks. All of the things I'm about to talk about here are optional. You don't have to do any of these things, but if you wanted to, you could. It'd be nice. But yeah, subscribing is an easy way to support what I do here. We had some subscribers tonight using Cash Money, or we had a Twitch Prime subscriber, so you can have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch. Use your token for me. We also had some gifted subs. Gifting subs is an easy way to support what I do here. You could join the gift sub leaderboard, which would be nice so people to see that you're gift subbing. We had a couple tonight, which was great. I'm currently working towards 45 subscribers. We're currently at 40, and that's awesome. I also have a Patreon. Now, this might not be the best time to join my Patreon because it is monthly. Maybe you want to wait till May, but maybe you want to go check out my Patreon page, and then you want to click the button there, make it a bookmark, and take a look at it, in May, or just join for $1 and pay me a couple days. I don't know. There's different tiers, different rewards for each tier. Check out my Patreon. I would appreciate it. Other things. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Obviously, subscribing to a YouTube channel is free, but I also have a membership there, so you could join. And for $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos. I put out a new video every Wednesday. You get that for 1 day early, so you get that on Tuesday. At least I could do. And of course, subscribing is free. And if you haven't already, please do. I'll be promoting some YouTube videos that I put out this week in a minute or two. Also, direct donations. Because I mentioned some things that charge you monthly. What about a one-time? What if you were like, well, Pat, I got $7 you could have now. You could donate that through PayPal or through Coffee. And everything I make from direct donations, Patreon, YouTube, Twitch, all goes into me buying model kits. Continuing to buy model kits. The AUG that I just finished building tonight, I bought that with money from you fine folks in the past. In the year 2021, I bought that kit. I'll be buying more kits in the future. The kit that I am literally building on Saturday for charity, You fine folks helped me pick this kit up back when, a few months ago, when we were talking about doing this event again. I was like, well, I'm going to buy this kit because I want to build it for the charity, because I think it's a fun kit, and it was weirdly expensive. So I feel better about buying it for charity than I do buying it for just Thursday night. Anyway, I also have other ways here for you to support if you're interested financially. And you may have heard me say the RX-78-2 that we're currently about to start building came from my Amazon wish list. Someone bought it anonymously. And so I made a YouTube video about, a mailbag video about what was purchased there. And it jumped the queue. I have other stuff to work on. I'm not working on that. I'm working on this. I got a bunch of things on here you can look at. Very inexpensive Lego sets, some cheaper and short builds of model kits, including something from Star Blazers, which I didn't even know was the thing. I can't imagine how small that's going to be and how few pieces it'll be, but I was like, I don't know, that's kind of fun. But yeah, Lego, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that like drop down in price and have Amazon free shipping, stuff that doesn't and is like weirdly very expensive. And like, why is the Raphael high grade $53? I don't know, but it's on my wish list. And then at the very bottom of that wish list is some gear. Like, you could get me a chair that is way more comfortable than the chair I currently sit on. You don't have to do any of those things, but if you wanted to, you could. You could buy me a gift card to GameStop, and then I promise I will buy WWE 2K22, because that's what I would do with that money, because that's the easiest way to do that, because I want the Steam version. So I would just buy the digital version through GameStop's website. Like I said, that's just the thing. You don't have to do that. But if you buy something that obviously jumps the queue, I'll make a video where I say thank you. You could be anonymous if you want. That also applies to anything bought on my Throne wish list, which is a smaller list that I do keep track of, but it is a smaller little list over there. But you can check that out. They really protect people, the streamers and content creators that use their site. They really protect them because not everyone uses a real name like me. I use Pat Baer as my name because my real name, and then I use it for all my stuff. Not everybody does that, so it goes out of the way to help protect people in that way. And then also USA Gundam Store, you can just buy a gift card there and then send me a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, and be like, hey, I bought this on a gift card. You can just buy something at USA Gundam Store. And I'd be like, great. That's another thing you can do. A way to support me for free is join my Discord. My Discord is very chill. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. It's a nice little community. So you check that out there. A couple of video links for you to look at before we get back to building. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I put a new video out on Monday. This is me talking about some romantic comedies that are out this season, because there are like 9 romantic comedy anime this season. And I talked about 4 that I think are very good. One is the 3rd season of the show. The other ones are all brand new, first seasons. It's also my 69th Pat Baer's Anime Club, which is nice. And I did not intentionally make one about romance for the 69th. It just happened that way. Because I usually do around this time in the season a recommendation. It happened to be most of the shows I wanted to recommend were romantic comedies. And then Do You Remembaer is a video series where I read something and then attempt to remember everything about what I just read and talk to you about it in a video. And I'm going to look up this particular penguin's name, Nils Olav. Nils Olav is a penguin that is also a brigadier in the King's Royal Guard for Norway. The army specifically for protecting royalty in Norway adopted a penguin, and every time they go to visit that penguin, it increases in rank. And now currently, that penguin outranks the person, Nils, who came up with the idea and was in that service. Now outranks that person. And it's wild and weird and great. So I talked about that in the video. I hope you'll check that out, because I think it's fun. Let's see. Do I have anything else I need to talk about? Links wise, no. We're going to talk about some anime, so I'll get that ready. I'm also going to drink a little water, and then we are going to get back to building. by starting a new kit. So let me drink a little water, and then we'll dramatically transition back to the overhead right now. All right. So we got to change some stuff around here. Let's see here. We got to go to markers, and we got to update the marker thing. Let's see. We've got a light red, and we're going to use brown on that. Probably. So we'll use black on the dark. This red, we'll probably use black on it. So, yeah. But the white will be gray, and then this will be, we'll just do red, brown, and then we'll do that. Great. That's updated. And then I need to change the information here from a couple of that to RX-78-2. And we'll put gotta remember how to spell this stuff. Paralympic Games. What happened there? Did I spell Paralympic wrong? I did. Okay, great. There we go. Did everything we need to do there. So I'm going to talk to you about some anime as I work on this brand new kit. This is start a new kit. So watch some shows. I'm Kodama Kawashiri. Was supposed to have episode 13 air today. I don't know why it's not on Crunchyroll, but at time of recording, that episode was not up. So if it comes up, I'll talk about it. Obviously, on Saturday, I'm not going to do my anime reviews because I'm part of a charity event, but I will. So that means Monday, no manga on Monday. Monday, I'm going to talk about, as of right now, the plan is for me to talk about 6 anime shows on Monday. So, no time for, no time for manga on Monday. Only 4 shows to talk about tonight because I have dropped a few shows. But like I said, I will have more to talk about in the future. All right, so we're going to start putting this together here while I talk to you about I'm Quitting Heroing. All right, so the opening of this episode was our main character Leo having a bad dream, which is actually memories from the future, or from the past, I should say. And now I finally can talk about it because I've read this in the manga, so now I can finally talk about it because they hint at it more and more. Why this series is the way it is. So, the premise that we have been told up until this episode, which is like a couple episodes in, is there was the Demon King has been invading, right? Demon Lord, she was invading, and nobody knows why, and it's this big war, and the hero of the humans, Leo, came into their castle, took out the four generals and defeated the queen pretty easily. And then immediately the rest of humanity, or like the people in charge, were like, you're strong enough to defeat the Demon Lord and all of her underlings at once. What the fuck, man? You're too strong. You gotta go. And Leo decided, well, I have been betrayed, and they're scared of me. The only thing left to do is join the Demon Lord's army, because they seem to be respectful or whatever. And there's not a really good reason why he's there. We don't get a good reason. He's just is there, and he's hiding. He's like pretending to be a different human that's helping them out, like a knight. He goes by the name Onyx, because the Demon Lord is like, no, I don't want you to work for us. Get out of here. What are you talking about? There's no way we could trust you. So this involves backstory now, folks. the actual real story of this. Why was this human? Why was he able to defeat? Why is he so strong? Why was he able to defeat the Demon Lord and all these things? Why is this regular human so strong? Because he's not a fucking human, everybody. He's made to look like a human. His designation is number 5. And in the past of Earth, because this fantasy world is Earth, when everything was like kind of normal at one point, demons showed up and monsters showed up. And so some government somewhere in the world created artificial humans that were strong in order to protect humanity. And then also, guess what happened to Leo there? Humanity was like, hey, it's scary that you're so strong. Yes, Arctic Sloth. It's terrifying that you're so strong. And so humanity kind of rejected him. And he has been, and then thousands of years later, it's now a medieval world with magic, and technology there's some technology left, but it's like ancient lost technology. Like, I forget what they call it. There's like a Deus Ex Machina, a Philosopher's Stone, which is like a thing from his time that he remembers. So our main character is a guy trying to be human who keeps saving humanity because he's programmed to do it. And then humanity continuously rejects him because the powers that he has are fucking frightening to them and they are terrified of him. So he is constantly rejected. And that's what the anime is. That's your anime. This fantasy world is literally just a post-apocalypse of the modern world, our modern world, where there are now monsters and stuff. And this episode, so that's huge and heavy and weird, and I like that. I like that this show was like, yeah, the hero, he's gonna hang out with them, and it's just like, why? I was like, oh, because this dude is tired of helping humans. He still has to help humans. He's tired of being rejected by people, and he's just looking for people to accept him, and he thinks maybe the demon army will accept him, and he can still save humanity through like peace at some point, because he still has to save humans, even though they constantly reject him for being so strong. And I was like, that's an interesting twist. So that's the thing that is like, I've been waiting to like talk about, because I had to wait, because they don't tease anything about it. Anyway, most of this episode is actually our main character trying to pretend to be this Onyx character while he has a meeting, which is actually like a party between him and Echidna, the current queen, or demon lord. And of course, he's like trying for her to find out his secret, and then also like he's about to be like honest with her because she's honest with him. The reason why they invaded is to get the Philosopher's Stone, which is considered to like be able to do anything, which is mostly rumor. But they believe if they have it, that they can transform or terraform with magic the realm of the demons, which is uninhabitable. So that is their grand plan. And they're like, we don't really care about humans. I mean, we'll do whatever we can to get what we need, but like we're not doing this to like enslave humanity. We're doing this to get the Philosopher's Stone because they wouldn't give it to us anyway if we asked for it. And that's like a kind of like a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing. Like whatever this Philosopher's Stone, we know it's like, we the audience know it's like ancient technology probably. It's fine, whatever. But yeah, it's weird. Also, the episode ends with a big cliffhanger. He's about to be like, actually, I'm going to tell you, like, hey, I need to tell you this, and he's going to reveal it. One of the generals has quit, and the other is planning to commit suicide because they blame themselves for their recent defeat. And so that's not good. They got to find the guy who quit, and they got to find the guy who is going to try to take his own life. So yeah, right now, she does not know that her new underling is indeed the hero who she does not want working for them. So yeah, so this show is like one of those a comedy adventure series that also has like some really weird, like sad stuff that they're just like, also this is happening, and you're like, wait, what? It is a little like shell shocky because it's just like, oh, this guy's got like a cool weird backstory, and there's like, because somebody said like was talking to me about I'm Quitting Heroing, and it's like, was it an isekai? And I'm like, no, and that is true. Because it is a different world, but it's the same Earth. It's just a different world because of time. Because, like, if you went back to caveman days, I wouldn't say that's an isekai, but some people might say it's an isekai. To me, that's just a time travel story. But, so I don't think that this is an isekai. I think this is just an action fantasy series. Because he just existed for so long that the world changed around him. He wasn't summoned or died and was reincarnated or anything like that. It's just like a fantasy series that also has a sci-fi element to it. All right, so that's I'm Quitting Heroing. Now, the greatest demon lord is reborn as a typical nobody. If you are watching the show and you have not seen this episode, you could just skip it. It is not worth your time. I will tell you, the problem of adapting a manga or light novel is commonly an episode of an anime is 2 to 4 chapters of a manga, often 3 chapters of a manga, right? They just condense it down to get through it. Maybe it's 2 if it's a really dense story, or if it's One Piece, it's 1 chapter of the manga because they like to add in filler within the episodes, all that stuff, right? This is the problem with that is a character was introduced in 1 chapter, and then 2 chapters later, it is revealed that she is an enemy. And over the course of a manga, that's like 3 months, right? But in an anime episode, we were introduced to Professor Jessica, and then turns out Professor Jessica is part of the demon cult that we dealt with in the previous episode, which would have been several episodes before, or, chapters before. So it just, because it's condensed, we were introduced to a character, and then it was revealed that she is evil. And it was like, well, yeah, of course she is. We just met her. Of course, like, she was betrayed. So anyway, Irena got captured. She has been the target of these people all along. We thought it was Ard. It's not Ard. It's her. She was their target. Demons are attacking. Ard didn't see. Arena's dad also got attacked by her, so they kidnapped. Ginny managed to live. There's also this thing of like they were fighting in this tournament because they want to make Ard a teacher at the school. And he definitely doesn't want to be a teacher because he's like, no, I want to be a student here. I want to be a student and have like a typical life. I don't want to stand out like that. I'm not going to be like, it's like, I'm like a teenager. Don't make me a teacher. But whatever. So anyway, that was that. Episode was fine. It wasn't good. Like I said, the pacing feels bad. Like they should have introduced her in a previous episode. Instead of just going like in this adaptation, it just means that like it's like, oh, here's this new person, and she's really pushy. Oh, she's evil. Okay, it doesn't have any sort of stakes to it. It doesn't feel like it does anything. Also, small thing, weird thing. His name is Ard, A-R-D, and in this subtitle, some people were calling him Ardy, A-R-D-Y, and some people were calling him Ard. And it's like, which is it? Because this is the only episode I've ever seen anyone call him Ardy. And I'm like, is this an error? Was this like a fuck up? Because people doing subtitles translations aren't paid enough. Um, is this like a thing in like the Misfit Demon King Academy where they decided they were going to change a character's name or like what his actual name was? Um, like after one episode, like suddenly it came down and the decision was made to use a different spelling of the character's name. Like, is that what's going on? But then other times in the episode, like I said, he was called Ard and not Artie, and I was like, what's happening here? So I don't know. That's weird, and I don't like just pick it and go with it. I don't know. I found that weird. Anyway, here's an episode of a show I liked, RPG Real Estate. If you haven't been watching this and if you're looking for cute girls doing cute things, this is the show for you. Because also, if you don't like anime that involves music or like idols, because there's none of that in here. This is a show about 4 girls that work at a real estate agency in a fantasy world where it's been many years since the Demon Lord got defeated. Magical real estate license probably has a lot of classes. Yeah. So, but that's basically the thing, right? People that were studying that, like, what does a mage do? Like, yeah, there's always going to be work for someone who could heal, like a priest, right? But there's some adventuring, but there's still not a lot. People don't need to do all this because the Demon Lord got defeated, and monsters there are monsters that are integrating, and also those people need housing. And one of the girls there is mysterious, and people aren't quite sure what she is, but they know that she can speak to beasts and understand monsters. So that's very helpful. And our main girl, what's her name again? Kodane, is a mage, but we don't see her do magic. We see her figure out real estate. And this episode is about helping out a new character named Toto and her Pegasus, who's named Shiro, which is great. And she's just like, yeah, I moved to the city. I'm working for the guild. It's a hard job to get, but I used to live out in the country, and I've got my Pegasus here named Shiro, and we need to live together. And Shiro needs to live indoors. Well, like, that's very difficult to do because that's a Pegasus, and it's the capital, and it's expensive to get stuff. She doesn't have the money to live in a place that's very expensive, and it's like, well, it looks like Toto is going to quit. Also, during this, Fa has been talking to Shiro, and so we know that Shiro is a real, like, gentleman of a horse, of a Pegasus, just very gentlemanly. So you get to see her, like, try to copy his vocal. And we also get a monologue in his voice that we understand because, he was talking to Fa, which is fun. But Kodane realizes, wait, I've been thinking about like walking distance or carriage rides. Shiro can fly. Here's a place that's on a mountain. It takes like 3 hours to walk. But if you're flying on your Pegasus, it's not a problem. So they find this place that's like reasonably priced for rent and like huge. And everything works out because that is kind of what happens in this thing is generally people are like, I'm worried about this thing. Oh, wait, I solved it. Like, that's kind of what happens. Like, there's some bigger stories. Like, our second part of the story is looking at the other 2 girls that work there. Rakira and Rufuria. One of them is a muscle fitness freak, a warrior, and the other is the experienced girl. She's trying to work her way up in the real estate world, and she is also a priest class. And they have known each other since childhood. They are childhood friends, and they are roommates. And I got to tell you, folks, I don't think they're going to kiss by the end of the show, but I think they're really going to they're really trying to make the audience think that they're going to kiss. This feels like queer baiting. It feels like subtext to get you to, because like there's a lot of jokes about them living together and being like partners and and when they get in a fight in this episode and they make up, and then one's feeding the other, and it's like, yeah, these girls are in a relationship. I don't think this show is gonna like touch on that and them being in love at all. I would love to be wrong. I would love for them to have an episode where they're just like, oh yeah, we're dating. We didn't want to say anything because we're coworkers, but yeah, we've been dating this whole time. Like, I much prefer that to what I think is going to happen, which is nothing. Yeah, they might not kiss on screen, but we know what's going on here. Yeah, Arctic, that's the thing. It's like, it's one of those where you're just like, yeah, these characters are definitely seeing each other. It's just that we don't get to know, like, you know, like, they're not going to spell it out. It's not going to be a explicit thing. It almost can't be because it, you know, I mean, it could be. It just, they won't do it. So instead, it's just like a lot of subtext that is pretty much text. And you're like, oh, okay. All right. So I got to, this is a frustrating thing for me to do at the end of a stream, is to get this, is to do eyes like this. Skeleton Knight in Another World is my last anime to talk to you about tonight. It was a fun episode. Arc. This season we have an Ard and an Arc. Where did that just go? There's. All right, I gotta look at this here. The stickers for the camera eyes can be chosen. Use 2 and 3 to effectively use the clear parts. So sticker 2 and 3 are the eyes. And then I put this on over the eyes, or 2 and 3 are, oh, like a frame? Select the sticker to apply. Okay, so if I just want to use this clear part as a clear part, I would put these behind it. But if I don't want to use the clear part, I don't have to put stickers 2 and 3. I can just put the eye stickers on there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. We're going to put this on here like that. And then we're going to put the eye sticker on over that. So that is right. And then I'm going to apply sticker 1 on top. So I'm not going to do the back stickers here, because that's what you would put behind it if you wanted to not do the full eye sticker. I'm just going to put the regular eye sticker on. We'll just do it like that. Okay, so Skeleton Knight in Another World, we got Arc. He played video games, and then he woke up in a world like the video game. He's a skeleton man. He doesn't want people to know that he's a skeleton man because he thinks they'll want to attack him. He's very strong and powerful. He helped save some elf kids last episode, so now Ariane is like, hey, there are other kidnapped elves. Do you want to help me out? Can I pay you? Because you are a mercenary. And he was like, yes, I will help you. So they go and meet another another elf who is at first is just like, I don't trust this dude. What's that guy's name? Donka is like, I don't trust this guy. He's a human. We don't know him. But then they find out how strong he is, and he can teleport, and he's, you know, whatever. So they're like, great. We're going to go to this place. We're going to raid this place, and we're going to free the slaves and the slave girls. And if there's anybody that gets in our way, we're just going to take care of them. And then they arrive, and some people are already dead because an unrelated person who is not there to save people, but is there to do other stuff, shows up. She's a ninja. She's a cat person or a beast person. I believe cat person. Cat person ninja. And she attacks. Well, she goes to attack Arc, but then, like, as of many times, people notice Ponta, the little fire or the fox spirit that hangs out with him, and is like, oh well, you know, if you're respected by that creature, that's fine. That means you're good. And anyway, by the way, here's some information for you. All the slaves are in the basement. There are 2 other ones in this other location. Guess what? That's the lord of this town's manor. He's in on this, and that's why there are two slaves over there. And here's some proof so that there can be justice. Bye-bye. And at the end of the episode, she's like talking to another beast person and just being like, oh, I think we're gonna meet again. We'll meet him again. Because she's surprised because he's just like, he instantly is just like, oh, you're a ninja. She's like, how do you know that word? How do you know that name? And this is like, he's like, it doesn't matter. Everything's okay. They free the people, the slaves down there. Everybody gets away. And then the freed ones are going to go back to safety. And Arne and Ariane and Ark are heading to the Lord's Palace as we speak at the end of the episode. So yeah, things are moving there. We got some action. We got some sword stuff. Some strong people being strong. But not a lot happened in this episode overall. Just plenty of action. A little story. Introducing character who is in the opening and closing credits. So, we're going to see more of her. I have read this manga. I know we will see more of her. I'll say that. I usually don't like to say, I'm trying to tell you, what happened in the episode. I usually don't want to say, stuff like today I talked a bit about I'm quitting heroing because it's weird. But I didn't want to, get into why before, even though I knew from reading the manga. And there are some shows here. RPG Real Estate. If there's a manga, I haven't read it. I believe there is, but I haven't read that. So I don't know, what's going on with that. I just know from the episodes. But Skeleton Knight and Skeleton Knight, I'm Quitting Heroing, and the greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as Typical Nobody. I have read basically a lot of that, so I am aware. I'm going to panel line this before I put the top part on, the crown on, because it's just easier. And that's all the anime that I've been watching. What about y'all? Are you all watching anything? You checking anything out? Let me know. Now, if you're playing any video games, I am excited about Dorfromantic being out of early access. I'm going to be checking that out this weekend, probably doing a little gaming there. Haven't really done much gaming this week. Playing some Hearthstone. I've got a rogue deck that you play a 4-cost minion that will then make your next spell free and cost 0, and you only have 1 spell. So then you're playing an 8-cost spell in Rogue that pulls 5 cards from your deck, and if it's a death rattle, that death rattle activates, and so then all I have in my deck is death rattle cards that do wild stuff. And it is a scam deck because either you on turn 4 or turn 5 or even turn 3 with a coin have an unbelievable advantage, or you just lose all the time. And because you never draw the cards you need. But I enjoy that deck. Let's see. Lord Gresham says, I've been watching the first season of Russian Doll, which is good stuff so far. I never finished Russian Doll, but I did like what I had seen of it. All right, A2 is the next thing I need here. Small little piece, we'll get that there. Birdie Wing, Arctic Sloth's been watching. Sucker for sports anime, but a chick who plays golf by hitting the ball as hard as possible matches my experience playing golf. Yeah. Birdie Wing just didn't seem like I like the idea that it's going for almost a martial arts instead of a sports, or those hyper sports kind of a things like slam dunk, which well, not slam dunk, the other one, Kuro's basket or whatever, where it's just superhumans playing basketball. So yeah, I kind of like the idea of that, but I don't think I'm necessarily going to watch that. John's 90 episodes into Yu Hakusho and moved on to Super Robot Wars X, which is an isekai setting. Yes. I mean, there's also some isekai stuff in Robot Wars in general, but yes. Just been watching Barry and Better Call Saul lately. Played a little bit of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe last night, and that game is still funny as hell. Yeah, Lashbrook, I do want to check that out. I really enjoyed the Stanley Parable, so I wouldn't be opposed to checking that out. I haven't. And then Nera Xito is watching Turn A Gundam and Big O at the moment, playing first Xenoblade Chronicles. Hell yeah. Turn A is such a strange show, especially design-wise. I was talking about that on Tuesday. with Alex on because he was talking about for Nextlander, because he was talking about trying out some stuff, and he's like, turn A I get recommended. I'm like, it's weird. I do enjoy it. Big O rules. Excited to start Rogue Legacy 2 now that hit 1.0 and Nintendo Switch Sports tomorrow. Hell yeah, that sounds fun. Yes, Rogue. I didn't love Rogue Legacy. I don't think I'd be into Rogue Legacy 2, but I do appreciate that it exists, and I'm hopeful that people are going to have a great time with it. But yeah, it's just not my scene, not my thing. Hopefully finishing work around the house so I can start on my hobby stuff in the computer room. Hell yeah, Ghost Valve. I hope you get some computer time in there. I enjoyed Rogue Legacy more than I was good at it. Well, there you go. Yeah, I got to do more lawn stuff, unfortunately. I'm done raking. I had to mow today, and I needed a nap because my allergies were kicking my ass, which sucks. But it was totally just whooping my butt, so I need a nap today. But hopefully I won't have to do much more yard work in the future other than getting rid of all these leaves that we bagged. Clean my patio this evening and go to the greenhouse to find some flowers to make my place look nice and maybe even attract some hummingbirds. Hell yeah, Arctic Sloth. That sounds lovely. Yeah, lawn stuff and gardening stuff is not necessarily for me, but I can appreciate it. Aristofan's close to finishing the story of Tiny Tina, which continues to be surprisingly good. I'm looking at the Lego Star Wars stuff coming up on Sunday. Hell yeah. We're done here. We're finished up with this. I'll take a photo of this in a minute. We got started with the RX-78-2 Paralympic Games version, which we will continue on Monday. Because, again, last time I will say, this Saturday, I'm taking part of the Plastic Model Weekender. Please come check out the Plastic Model Weekender if you can. We would love to have you there anytime during the weekend, but also specifically from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. Raising money for the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, which is a charity that is working towards a cure. And we do very much appreciate that charity, so we're looking forward to doing that. A bunch of us participating. There are 2 people competing. That said, there's a husband and wife VTuber duo that is competing against one another in a race, but everyone else is just hanging out and building model kits and talking shop and relaxing. So I hope you can come out for that. Again, that'll be this weekend. Let's see. What are we going to do here? We're going to raid. That's how we end every stream. We end every stream with a raid. So we're going to go see who's doing something that we want to go hang out with. Okay, Wiggins. Let's see. Okay, on there. Who is playing? Who's doing this? I want to see. There's a channel that has a few people that stream on it, and I just want to see if it's my friend or if it's a person I don't know, because this is a person I don't know. But if it's my friend, we're gonna go raid that, because that's just what's gonna happen. So I want to see who it is. All right, no, I don't know who this person is. They are a coworker of my friend, but that does not matter to me. Who are we gonna? Sorry, folks, I'm just having issues trying to figure out who we're gonna go raid. We're going to go raid Wiggins. Matt Wiggins is out there playing Dark Souls 2. The Souls everyone's talking about. The From Software game on everyone's mind. Dark Souls 2. We're going to go raid Matt. Matt's good people. Got a good community. So we'll go give him some love. Feel free to come along on this raid. If you don't feel like doing it, that's okay. I hope you'll watch this weekend. Check out Playmo Weekender. I'll be hosting here again. But I'd rather you go and watch on the actual thing, because I won't be looking at chat here. So thanks so much for coming. If you can't come on Saturday, come back on Monday as I continue on this kit, and I will see you on the next Build With Baer as soon as we're ready to raid, which we almost are. Very close to being ready to raid. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.